Hello LT gamers, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tom and today we are taking a look at the new DLC for Heroes Hour called The Rogue Realms. So to start the video off, let's just revisit Heroes Hour as the base standalone game. So this is a turn-based strategy RPG with real-time combat, and it was released back in 2019 to a great deal of buzz by a small indie developer. And the buzz, a lot of it came from the fact there are a lot of parallels to the Heroes franchise, which obviously is extremely popular still. And the game took place in a fantasy world where you headed up one of 12 factions, you would build your armies and conquer your enemies. It had procedurally generated maps, which I think was a great deal of its success, which gave a huge amount of replayability. So you could always play the same map with a different faction. It felt like a completely different game. It was well received by gamers and critics for this unique approach that it had and this mixing of turn-based and real-time. And I think people also connected a lot with the detail that went into the game and the lore as well. Throw on top of that, you have the modding community, which just generated this huge wealth of content. And I think it added a lot of excitement and a lot of variety to every playthrough. So Heroes Hour on its own has been a success despite the small team. And I think that's in part to its addictive gameplay and surprisingly complex strategies that can appeal to a broad audience. And of course, when you have a game like this, the support that the game gets from its developer is always key to kind of the continuation of the game. And this is what we've seen with many patches and updates with Heroes Hour. And now we're seeing with this new DLC, the Rogue Realms, that the developer is very committed to creating this memorable, exciting gaming experience for the fans of the game. So let's dive into the new DLC itself, and a good place to start is with the new faction, which it is named after, the Rogue. And so this is a unique faction that's made up of 12 different bands of neutral creatures, and each one has their own heroes, unit lineups, and special skills. And these range from a dragon focused lineup to, for example, one which is all mechs, so like a very industrial style lineup. I've played with the dragon style one quite a bit so far, and I'm really enjoying it. And to give an example, by the end game, I'm quite weak in the beginning of the game, but by the end I have these crazy buffed red dragons and green dragons and wyverns in my army, and I'm dominating the battlefield with them. And I continuously buff and get them stronger and stronger throughout the game. So in addition to the Rogue faction, the DLC brings new mechanics and units for the existing 12 factions as well. So you'll have unique buildings like the Summoning Circle, which allows you to create units based upon the spells that your hero knows. And so I found this to be very useful in the late game when I was struggling for troops. I've been able to use the Summoning Circle to get some powerful troops into my army. And then there's also these unique passive bonuses available for unique buildings for each of the 12 factions, such as you can gain elementals when picking up ore on the overworld map, or gain experience when you lose units. So I forget the exact name of the skill, but I was getting these creatures every time I was picking up crystal on the world map, and that became very useful by the end game. So the Rogue Realms DLC adds a range of new hero skills to the game as well, and so this fits quite neatly into what I would call existing playstyles, but then there are ones which are going to push people and let people come up with entirely new strategies to play the game. And an example that is the Avatar skill. Will grant you permanent elemental units when casting spells, but only if you have other skills that make them good at casting that element of spells. So it's going to add, like I said, a new veneer of strategy to the game, and I'm excited to see what the community comes up with off this DLC. So to kind of summarize, it's going to offer some really exciting new ways to play Heroes Hour, unique faction, new mechanics, and a range of new skills. I think it's perfect for the experienced players who are looking for something more from Heroes Hour. It's going to offer new depth and complexity to the already engaging gameplay that was a hit in the first place. And there we have it, LT Gamers, the Rogue Realms DLC for Heroes Hour. I haven't been shared the price point that it's going to come in at yet, but I imagine it's going to be pretty reasonable considering the base game is around 15 euros or your local equivalent. So check it out. Have a look at the DLC when it comes out on the 2nd of March and let me know in the comments what you think. And of course, if you've liked the video, feel free to like and subscribe as well. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye now.